Donald Trump is the President of the United States. Now, there's no point whinging about this. He is the President, and that's a fact. He's been running the place a bit like a bull in a china shop, treating the country a bit like he's running one of his businesses, and all the population are his employees. And what he's been bringing in is pretty hard-hitting. He doesn't really care what the outcomes are, it seems. You're fired. He seems to be gradually upsetting more and more different types of people and different countries. But as I said, Donald Trump is the president. He's got his own unique style. And it's a style we'll probably never see again. He's probably going to be the worst president in US history. Or the best. Worst or best with nothing in between. But he was voted in. You can't cry about it. They had a big long election. It lasted absolutely forever. There was two terrible candidates and Donald Trump beat Hillary Clinton. So what's this rant about then? It's about that wall that's being built between Mexico and the US. Now, I had a conversation with someone about this the other day and they said, what does it bother you? You don't even live in the USA. Well, that's quite a blinkered view. I do live in the UK, but that doesn't mean to say I can't have a view on world politics. It's a pretty narrow view if you're only concerned about stuff that's happening at the end of your street. And Donald Trump is, arguably now the most powerfulest man in the world. Got his finger on the nuclear button. So, as a concerned earthling, because that's how I see myself as an earthling and from any other country, I've got a duty to be concerned and have thoughts about what's going on, really. Throughout Trump's campaign, before he got voted in as president, he's feeding on the US economy that had been dipped for some time, and he was blaming it, seemed to be blaming it, on immigrants taking jobs like Mexico and so forth, and the country being rather soft in their attitude to it. And one of his policies was, which I didn't really take too seriously at the time because it seemed so ridiculous, was building a long wall across the US-Mexican border, which spans about 1,900 miles or thereabouts. It seems impossible to do, doesn't it? And the idea behind this wall was it was going to stop Mexican people illegally coming into the country and taking all the jobs from the common man and woman. What? Now, you don't break down barriers by building walls up. It's all about getting on with people. The Earth is getting a smaller and smaller place. At some point we'll be on different planets and the world's got to be united. You can't risk annoying everyone and just look after your own country. Mind you, looking after your own country is good, but you've got to get on with everyone else as well. This wall that's been proposed, yes, it is going ahead. It's going to take 3.5 years to build. Will Donald Trump even be in term then, or will he be impeached? And it's going to cost about $21.6 billion. First of all, it's estimated to cost $25 billion, but now it's $21.6 billion. And Donald Trump himself, who says, we can get it done cheaper than that and quicker. And the US, apparently, according to Donald Trump, the US aren't going to have to pay for it at all. No, I've written down here, apparently, this is interesting, Congress will pay for the construction of the wall, but then Mexico themselves will reimburse US taxpayers. Why would they do that? And Mexico has said no. Well, why? Why should they pay for a wall along the whole border? And how will USA, how will they enforce this? Will they, what? It makes no sense. Is there something I'm not getting? It seemed pure stupidity. I mean, why is it even being built in the first place? Now, I can understand if you're running for president, the sign of you building up a wall to stop immigrants coming in is a sign of strength, if people are fearing what's going to happen. But then, maybe as a metaphor, but then when you get into power, why go ahead and build a wall? Because let's face it, a wall isn't going to stop people. If people want to go illegally into a country and stay there, then they're going to find ways around a wall. This isn't like the 1920s. There's more than one way across. So then, for a cost of $21.6 billion, although he says it can do it cheaper somehow, it's going to be a row of fences and then brick walls and stuff like that. But is it going to work? Apparently, most people come in from Mexico illegally to the US by airplane. So an airplane, I don't know if you've done the maths, an airplane can fly higher than the wall, can't it? And there's a lot of landing strips in the US, but even so, even if they are monitored, Mexicans come in on legal visas, so they've got a right to be at the country, and then they don't leave. And what percentage of the illegal immigrants are from Mexico anyway? I think it's just a small percentage. Others coming from Cuba. Why are they going to build a wall around the whole of the US? That's the only way, and put a roof on? It just doesn't add up to me. I think there's quite a number of smuggling tunnels from Mexico to the US. They can go under the wall, they can fly over the wall. Is this actually going to save money? I mean, I can't see any way that Mexico are going to pay for this wall. It's the taxpayers' money that can be best used in other things like hospitals and other things. I just don't understand the logic of this. So let's get this straight then. So this wall, apart from being a gesture to get a man into power who annoys everyone, is expensive, and it's not going to fix the problem it was designed to put up. It might stop about 3 or 4 people coming through, but so that's about £5 billion a person. That's not very cost effective. If this wall does ever get built along the whole way, apparently planning's in the advanced stages, there's going to be a time when a future president is in where there's going to be historic footage of this wall being pulled down, a bit like the Berlin Wall, and it's in Europe, and it'll be like Trump's folly, really. They'll take great pleasure in knocking this down. There'll be graffiti all over it. People that own bits of the wall sell it on eBay for lots of money, and they think, oh God, thank goodness I don't live in such ridiculous times as those. I mean, you don't build friends with building walls up. It's a sign of civilization, its ability to talk to other countries, see what's going on, help each other. Am I just being extremely naive? This wall, fair enough, put tougher regulations in for immigration, make it tougher for people to get paid after or so forth, but this is just absolutely stupid. A wall costing over 20 billion? How much does it cost to go to the moon? I'd rather go there instead. So Mexicans are stealing good, honest US people's jobs. Really?